You may want to limit the slots too.
Good evening, morning, night, or afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. That is actually Joker joining. He's not co-casting. I don't know what he's. Welcome everybody to another installment to the T1 Community Tournament. Today, on our hands, we have Team 911 on the Survivor side versus Team Baguettes and Wine. I always want to call them Black and White. On Infected. Joined by my side, as always, having to give a very special shout out to the provider of the servers we are playing on, as well as your cameraman, Midnight. And I have a co-caster with me, Bam. Say hello.
Hello.
Looking forward to this match, and the main reason I'm looking forward to it is because it's on Blood Harvest, and Blood Harvest is arguably probably one of my favourite map in the whole game. I'm not going to lie, personally. Don't know about you, Bam.
Yeah, I really like this map, to be honest, and I wish it was played more on mixes and stuff like that.
I have to agree, actually. Whenever there's a Blood Harvest mix, I'm more inclined to join it. Because obviously, I don't have a problem with it, but there's definitely a preference in terms of the maps in the Left 4 Dead 2 community. I believe it's going to be, the Parish and Dark Carnival, maybe followed by Death Toll slightly in Left 4 Dead 1.
One hard rain a day.
Yeah, one hard rain, maybe one Death Toll if you're lucky. Otherwise, Dark Carnival and the Parish. I'd love to see more Blood Harvest, and I'm getting my wish today. That's for sure. We're going to see a tournament match played on Blood Harvest, and I'm very excited to bring this match to you guys, all of the lovely viewers. Everybody, welcome. As I said, I don't remember when it was, maybe a couple of weeks ago or so on one of the live streams. Let us know where you're watching from, because I'd love to know if we have anybody other than from... Because this is a European tournament, but I'd love to know if we have anybody from any other continents of the world. It'd be very nice to know. So let us know in the chat if anybody's watching else. Going live, a nice preliminary boomer, actually, by Toff onto 3 survivors. Smoker spawned up in the bushes. Going to be pulling the only non-boom survivor. Will be cleared, though. Hunter's moving in, trying to synchronize with the Spitter. No synchronization, unfortunately. Smoke onto Zoe. Some damage, not very much. Damage was split across the board, but not a heck of a lot. That will complete the attack.
Yeah, well, with that 2-2 setup in this first attack, it's not ideal.
Not really, and actually they probably would have hoped for a charger there, because you can actually get a death charge here, which is, in a safe room attack, you can immediately get a death. We are going to see the survivors making it to the bridge here. So far there's a Hunter, Jockey, Smoker, and a Boomer. We have a tri-cap, no charger again. All spawns are going to be in front of the survivors, no spawns are going to be going behind. Tank is at 83%, and there is a witch actually just at the cars there. She's very close to the survivors. We've got Bill there, who's going to be on the car. He's going to be running at the witch now. He's going to get the crown. The infected are not there, and Jockey's pouncing around in the trees. We have behind the roof there where the ammo replenishment is. Jockey's going to be pouncing in. Hunter's pouncing in. Going to be pouncing onto Lewis. Allows the Boomer to get a boom. Hunter is going to be cleared. Smoker from behind the car. Jockey cleared before he can land on the survivor. Smoker's going to get a last-minute smoke onto Lewis. Not very much damage, but it's still evenly spread nonetheless. The witch was dealt with. Interesting thing, actually. This is very Left 4 Dead 2 kind of... Left 4 Dead 1 kind of fashion by Team 911 here. We do actually have 3 shotguns and 1 Uzi, which is very interesting. So, which was dealt with, as I say, so that is 25 bonus points awarded to Team 911. Tank is going to be spawning here. He's going to be a little bit far away. We have a charger spawning up, but the charger was actually the same guy who was getting tanked, so that died very quickly. Hunter's pouncing around. Spitter has gotten rid of the... Boomer's going to be moving in, but no distraction for him. He will be shut down. Hunter nicely skeeted there by Thug Life, who is actually, much like Toff, is actually a Left 4 Dead 1 player as well. Going to be seeing a Kaiser tank on map number 1. Just a quick roster rundown, actually. On the survivors for Team 911, we've got Muda, Frape, Tosh, and Thug Life. Of Kaiser, Jays, Nico, and Toff for Team Baguettes and Wine. Just kind of slowly making his way through the trees here. The survivors, in fashion with Left 4 Dead 1 again, actually, are going to be inside the house. This is generally what you do, and obviously without the Spitter during tank fights, you are actually able to do this. Jockey, Charger, and a Smoker is what the Team Baguettes and Wine have to work with here, just the tri-cap. They don't have a Boomer. really a boomer is a very good spawn here, actually. Very easy to land if you get the right distraction in. Tank's going to be moving in here. They're going to try and shut the door in his face. They don't manage to do so. The tank's going to be pinning one survivor. The charger's going to charge into the wall, actually, to get some stumbles. A very smart decision there. He's surrounded by melee weapons, though. They're not sending the spawns in time. The spawns are going to be down. Lots of damage happening. Charger is going to be dead. Jockey lands temporarily. Smoker gets a nice smoke in the face of Zoe there, but the tank dies before the spawns go in, so 5 punches landed, and that will conclude it.
Well, the survivors played that really well, to be honest. The tank died so quickly.
Indeed, yeah. You could probably argue the spawns could have gone in a bit sooner, but I don't think they anticipated how quick the tank would die. They probably weren't ready for just how quick they killed the tank. It was very well done. Boomer, Hunter, Charger, and a Spitter, so they have a 2-2, you know, with a Charger and a Spitter. Hunter spawned up. There's going to be a Boomer behind the rock. Gets a boom onto one survivor, which will be Bill. Charger from behind, Hunter from in front. Spitter just from wherever, really. Hunter's going to be pouncing in, trying to distract for the Charger. He gets dead stops and killed. Charger moves in, gets killed as well, so the Spitter has nobody to work with. He's just going to try and spit wherever the Spitter can, really, but no real options here. 4 medkits are still in the hands of Team 911 here. We've only got 1 spawn coming up here, which is going to be a Smoker. The Smoker's going to try and spawn behind the dumpsters here to get some delay. Going to be smoking Zoe there, but will be shut down quickly. Survivors will be making it into the safe room with 275 bonus points, all 4 medkits, and the Witch dealt with, including actually a set of pain pills as well.
Very well played from Team 911 here, to be honest. The matches that I've been seeing on this map, most teams take a lot of damage in this tank fight in the small room. Absolutely,
it kind of demonstrated the power of melee weapons there, actually, with 300 damage per slice. So they utilized them very well in that room. They split up their directions as well, so the tank didn't really have a kind of fixed target. He wasn't able to get many multi-punches, which multi-punches are a big risk, actually, when you're in a closed quarters like Smoker, Boomer, Hunter, and a Spitter. As always, the first setup, unless you're able to kill a spawn in water or something, is always going to be the same as last time. And obviously, same as last time as well, the tank will be 83%, so it's going to be a bit later. We will see the Witch after the bridge, so 2 attacks potentially, depending on how good this one is. We'll have to see how Team 911 play their infected side. Going to be seeing 2 shotguns and 2 Uzis in the hands of Baguettes and Wine, so slightly different, but still fairly similar. With a shotgun, almost a shotgun-dominated setup. Hunter's just pouncing around. They know where the Hunter is, so they know where to look for him, but they don't know where the other spawns are yet. They're being very patient. They don't want to attack too early. We do have the Hunter moving in for a damage pounce. He's going to be shut down very quickly, actually. Very nicely done. Survivors are making their way back. No Hunter to work with the Spitter. Some spit damage going to be happening onto Lewis in the Spit there with the Smoker, but they're going to be shut down. They actually, I believe they actually might have taken as much, if not maybe slightly less damage, so they're doing good so far. Going to be making their way forward to the bridge here. However, the Boomer has delayed them slightly with the common infected, so the spawns will be up for it. Well, at least some of them will be up for the Witch, if not all of them, actually. Yeah, all of them will be up. Hunter, Jockey, Boomer, and a Spitter, similar to last time, actually. Just replaced the Smoker with a Jockey. Going to be on the bridge here. They're going to have to use these shotguns well, because the infected are going to be ready with this Witch. They may go for the remote crown attempt. They might not do the same attempt as Team 911 did, which is just run into the Witch's face. They might not be able to do that here. Jockey is already spawned up at the Witch, and he is making noise and unsettling them. They have triggered the Witch, and they're going to get the remote crown actually on the bridge. Both spawns go for the same target there, and the Spitter isn't able to spit actually and dies immediately. Only a Boomer remaining. Boomer may be looking to boom on the survivors as they move back.
Behind you! Reloading!
Same still. They're not going to be changing their setup. There'll be 2 shotguns and 2 Uzis, which I like that. I like that there's going to be at least more than 1 shotgun on both teams. It's quite good to see. Preserved their health fairly well so far. They dealt with the Witch, so they have awarded themselves 25 bonus points. Jockey is going to be dying mid-air actually, because that was the tank. That was the tank. Hunter lands onto Bill after the Smoker dies. There is a Boomer still remaining. He gets a Boomer to 1 survivor. May not be enough for them, but they may go in with it anyway. Tank is just punching the random cars, really. He's trying to find which cars are hittable and which are not, and that car actually is not hittable. It is going to be a freight tank here. We've got spawns coming up in 4 seconds in total. So far, there's a Charger and Jockey. Final spawn in 1 second, which they're going to hope for a Boomer, but they're not going to get one. It's going to be a Jockey, Charger, and a Smoker's going to cut the window, not the window, the door, excuse me. He's going to slice that door down to make sure it can't be shut in the tank's face, and we'll get rid of the spawn. They're probably, as I say, going to be hoping for a Boomer here. Tank is unable to maintain line of sight, however. The survivors are cutting it. He's on 5% of pass number 1, so either way he is going to have to go in. Either way, if they get a Boomer or not, the tank still has to go in, but there is a chance they will get one. However, they do not. They get a Hunter. So it's a Jockey, Charger, and a Hunter. They replace the Smoker with a Hunter. Tank is going to be moving in here. He's going to go through the doorway. Going to look for his first target. Misses his first punch, though. He's already at half HP. Gets a double punch. They're all surrounding him. He gets a nice punch there again, actually. There's a dead stop on the Jockey and will be shut down. They shut down the tank in similar fashion. And look at that. They took just as much damage, really. Very nicely done.
Yes, a very nice play. I'm hoping this will be a very close game, to be honest. So far, it's looking quite good.
So far, absolutely. They, I mean, when you look at their health, actually, it's very comparable to their predecessors. It's, they made good use of the melee weapons. They were slightly risky, mind you, because there was one person in the doorway who managed to get a dead stop on the Jockey. But if that Jockey landed, he would have been outside the doorway, and that could even have been a wipe. So very well played by whomever it was in the doorway to shut them down there. Boomer from behind gets a Boomer to one survivor. Charger's going to be trying to get a death charge there, actually, but it's not really possible. Well, it's very, very difficult. Smoke in the back, actually. There's a Jockey onto the Boom survivor, which is Bill. They can't clear him in time. He's going to be hanging on the ledge there. However, no spawns are remaining, so they should be able to revive him if they're quick enough. Just see the Jockey climbing up the pole there. He's going to be moving back for a respawn. We have another spawn coming up now. So far, just the Jockey and the Spitter. One more spawn in 1 second, which is going to be a Boomer. Final spawn in 4 seconds, so they're going to have to go in with three infected hits. Boomer from on top. He's shut down before he can land. Very nicely done there. There's Francis in the Spit. Charger moving in for Francis as well. Has his melee weapon out. He stumbled nearly into the Spit, actually. However, he does not go down. They are going to maintain their medkits here, so they are going to be making it in with a comparable bonus of 265. Which is only 10 less than their previous guys. And as we see Toff there, MVP on absolutely everything.
Yes, including friendly fire.
Yeah, 40%.
Yeah, the other team managed to save the pills as well. So they got the extra 10 points for those pills. But yes, so far it looks like it's going to be a close game.
Absolutely, only 10 points separating these guys. And the only reason that 10 points are separating these guys is because of those pain pills. You know, Team Baguettes and mine chose not to be as conservative, and they actually managed to preserve, well, they actually managed to use their pain pills, so they got rid of those 10 bonus points. But 10 bonus points, really? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not even 200 is really anything to worry about, let alone 10. So it's anybody's game. Moving into Chapter 2 of Blood Harvest, this is more of a close quarters map, including the outdoor portion of the map, really, because the outdoor portion is kind of like an underground train track facility. So, unlike the previous chapter, this chapter is very close quarters, very good for spitters. And speaking of spitters, we actually have a Charger and a Spitter combination for this corridor, as well as a Hunter. So, Stumble City, really. We just have to see if they can pull off the stumbles in this Spit. What I would personally do here is I would actually use the Spitter first and then try and keep people in this. However, there are doors, a lot of doors that they have to be careful of.
Down the stairs.
They are making their way down the staircase here. There is a Jockey moving in, gets shut down very quickly. Charger moves in, only gets a few stumbles. The Spitter isn't able to get a Spit off in the first place. Wow, they actually shut that down very well.
Yes, indeed, they did.
And with that in mind, they should be able to make it past this choke point here. This is a deadly choke point, especially when you consider, you know, smokers and chargers and separation and boomers and everything, really. So they're going to get past this choke point altogether. Spawns will be coming up at just about the same time. There's going to be a Jockey, Spitter, and a Smoker, and we see Thug Life there dealing with the Witch straight away. No chance in the world for the Infected to set up for that. Jockey, Spitter, Smoker, and a Charger. So they have a tri-cap, no Boomer. They're going to be triggering the event. Tank is at 54%, so just halfway across the map. They're going to deal with the crescendo before they go for the tank fairly obviously. You don't want a special common infected in your face as you're dealing with the tank. Most of the spawns are going to be below. They don't really have any other option. Going to try and get some separation with the smoker. They actually get the separation onto Rochelle. Not Rochelle, that's not Rochelle. Zoe picks out the baseball bat though, swings in the face of the charger and actually mitigates a lot of damage that she could potentially have taken there. Jockey wasn't actually able to go in with his friends, unfortunately for him. Yeah, probably worth mentioning actually that as we are on a Left 4 Dead 1 map, these are the Left 4 Dead 1 characters. I don't know why I called her Rochelle. Jockey, Smoker, Hunter, and a Spitter. We do have a Tri-Cap, we do not have a Charger, however, actually, potentially, you know, arguably a Charger isn't really very good here because he has to travel a big distance to get to the survivors in the first place unless you can pull somebody down. Smoker from below again, going to try to get some separation, is shut down before that can happen. Hunter's wall pouncing around, not able to connect yet, and is going to be dead stopped eventually and killed. The Spit lands in a very weird position there. Jockey does land onto Bill, will get some damage, but will be cleared. I don't know if anybody saw where that Spit landed, but that was interesting.
Yeah, on the thing on the roof.
Yeah, I don't even know what was even called, to be honest, but we have a Charger so far. The spawns are a little bit staggered actually. There's going to be one spawn in 9 seconds and the other spawns will be up now. There's going to be Charger, Boomer, and a Smoker. We have the tank spawning. Tank in the hands of Jays. He's going to be moving in slowly but surely. He's actually quite close to the survivors already. Going to be climbing up here onto the high ground. Charger, Boomer, and a Smoker is a pretty decent setup for here in terms of separation, and it is a bit. This is the only real open area of the whole map, which is where they're going to be taking Boomer from the train there. Nice boom onto 2 survivors. That could be the opportunity for the tank to move in. Looks like it is. Looks like the tank will be moving in with this. He's going to be moving in for Zoe there. Doesn't land 2 punches so far. Going to be pinning. Looks like Francis there. And Zoe's going to be separated there. Nobody notices Zoe so far. Charger's going to be moving in as well. Nice charge there, and a stumble onto Zoe. And the in-cap as well. The tank's still at 1,500 HP. Going to be getting another punch there. Going to be in-capping Bill. Going to be getting a final punch there. Maybe even more. Actually, that will be the final punch. Good damage, but not a wipe. Jockey is spawned up behind the train there. Might be looking to delay. The Smoker's going to be moving in with the Jockey. Nice stumbles there. Nice dual cap, actually. The Jockey's going to be making his way round the train. Will be cleared, and that's going to... Wow. A lot of excitement, but no wipe, unfortunately.
Well, that tank play was... oh my god. I was so ready for the wipe.
Yeah, I was a little bit ready as well. That was... had me on the edge of my seat, especially with the Boomer. Very nice Boomer positioning on the train. That's what opened up that opportunity. Spitter and a Hunter so far. Final spawns will be a Charger and a Jockey. So they have a Tri-Cap, they have no Boomer, and they have no Smoker. Most of the spawns are going to be in front of the survivors. They have 2 ways to go here. They're going to choose the left, which I do agree with, because otherwise that is a potential for deaths, really. You can't really jump back up there on that train to the right. We've got survivors going to be climbing onto the trains here, which I agree with, because it makes it very hard for the infected. Hunter and Jockey from behind. Hunter's going to be wall pouncing around. Is shut down. Charger doesn't connect. Nobody connects whatsoever. Lewis doesn't know where to go there, actually. Spit in all directions, but does manage to get out of the Spit. So they have used 2 medkits, Team 911. So they won't be getting those bonus points. But they will still be... They're looking very likely to make it to the safe room. There's only going to be 1 more rushed attack by Team Baguettes and Wine, if they can even manage. There's a Smoker so far. Smoker, Boomer, Hunter, and a Spitter. They're going to send it in as soon as they can. Smoker from the back. The tongue is cut. There's a Spit going to be moving in, but the Spit isn't actually at the doorway. Everybody is shut down, other than the Spitter. Spitter will finally be shut down. They're going to be making it into the safe room with 185 bonus points. Dog life on MVP of everything, so we're seeing a trend here.
Yes, indeed. I'm gonna be so excited to see how Team Baguettes and Wine deal with the tank here. On the other hand, how the Team 911 plays with their infected on this map.
Indeed. Well, we're going to see the same setup as last time. We are going to see the Hunter, Jockey, Spitter, and Charger, which is a very dangerous setup. You know, they're going to have to see. However, they do have a staircase to work with, and they do have doors to work with, and, you know, especially in the case of Chargers, doors are not your friend. Just waiting for one last ready up here. We actually are seeing the infected. They're probably going to be choosing to attack a little bit later, which is really, honestly, a wise decision. It's especially considering that staircase. That staircase makes things very difficult for the infected, so they're probably going to look for them to go into the alleyway or the corridor slightly more ahead of the staircase.
Down the stairs.
We are going to be seeing a switch up actually with 2 shotguns and 2 Uzis compared to 3 shotguns, 1 Uzi as... well, actually, no, I'm lying. This is Baguettes and Wine, so this is the same as last time. Similar weapon setup actually for both teams. I like the patience and I like the decision to go here actually. The Hunter's going to probably wall kick first and everybody will follow off. They're ready, they're waiting, there's a jockey and a Hunter spawned up, but they're not going in yet because they don't want to be caught in the doorway. Hunter does actually land onto Rochelle, they're going to pile onto Rochelle it looks like. Nice charge actually, very nice charge, very nice damage. That's not going to be good for Baguettes and Wine, but it's going to be very good for 911 here. They actually do a lot of damage to Zoe, aka Toph. So yeah. Very good damage onto one survivor. It's obviously sometimes a very good thing to just tunnel vision one survivor, especially with a spitter combination with everybody else.
Yes, like in that place where in such close quarters, then definitely.
Jockey is actually spawned up at the Witch here, which everybody else is probably going to do the same thing. They actually have more time to set up with this Witch, however the survivors do have a high ground to work with as well. So high grounds and witches don't really match together. The witch often doesn't know where to run when there's a high ground, and we might see that happen here. They have triggered the witch. Zoe was the one who triggered it. Separation actually onto Lewis on the ground level there though. Zoe's going to be waiting for the witch. Bill goes to clear. However, the witch, as you can see, doesn't have a clue what to do. Just going to stare him down or stare Rochelle. Why do I keep saying Rochelle? It is Zoe. Yep. Well, they did actually deal with the witch. Murder saying always happens for us. Yeah, the witches don't really like high grounds very much. They kind of get a bit confused and don't really know where to run. So, well played by Baguettes and Wine. Hunter is pouncing around actually on ground level. There's a charger going to be going after... actually doesn't manage to connect there. However, there's a jockey onto Zoe as well as the Spit. So actually, Zoe took her pills and has already been punished for it by being brought back down to low HP, so that's very unfortunate for Zoe there. They could actually be using a medkit before the tank spawns, and well, you know, as I was saying that, they were using a medkit, so that is one medkit down before the tank. Still plenty of chances for them to do well here. However, they're going to have to play a little bit smarter than this. Charger, Hunter, Boomerang, a Smoker will be the tri-cap. We have pretty much every spawn is going to be going from below, really. There's not many other places to go if the survivors separate enough. Boomer from below is not able to make a connection with anybody, will be shut down on ground level. Hunter's going to be pouncing around in the distance, will be taking some chip here. There is a charger moving in, however, from a large distance. They do manage to separate Francis here. Charger's going to go for a scratch, gets one scratch before going down. That will conclude the attack. Some good damage so far. However, 3 medkits still in the hands of Baguettes and Wine. They are going to move forward after this crescendo, which is just about over, actually. So far, just a spitter. Tank will be up fairly soon. And as I say, that tank is now up and will be in the hands of Tosh, so it's going to be a Tosh tank. Hunter in the back here, going to look for a wall kick. His dead stop before the wall kick can be committed though. There's a Boomer landing onto 2 survivors, however they only have 1 final spawn on the jockey. Rock's going to be thrown in the distance here. The tank may look to go in with the double boom. However, he could go in because the spawn is coming up soon. He's going to throw some rocks from on top. Needs to be careful of that. Nicely shut down on the rock there. They actually weren't aware of that. Some of them weren't anyway. And again, actually, Francis there wasn't aware of that rock. However, his surrounding survivors were aware. They haven't landed a rock so far, and tank is on 30% of pass number 1, and it is still declining. So either way, if the survivors keep it up, the tank will have to go in soon. They have a jockey, charger, and a hunter. No boomer for them, actually. This could be in the favor of Baguettes and Wine. Tank has moved in, 500 damage so far. Gonna look for a survivor to pin here. Is actually able to pin Lewis and get the in-cap after this punch here. Charger is already down, actually. They're taking some damage here, and the damage is being spread. Tank on 1000, very nicely skeeted there by Nico on the Hunter. Jockey final spawn moving in, gets dead stops and shut down. Tank on 746 HP, moves in, gets a final punch there. However, the survivors have actually managed to kill the tank. Baguettes and Wine
We gotta keep moving.
in decent fashion, really. They actually, you know, they didn't have a boomer, Team 911, so that works in the favor of Baguettes and Wine.
You should heal up.
Yeah, health-wise, they are in a pretty similar situation than the other team was, so I
Yeah,
have
there's-
my hopes up.
There's definitely a lot of deja vu going on here, because most of these teams in their turns are actually in similar shape to each other. You know,
Reloading.
3 medkits so far. They may look to try and preserve it, because if they do preserve it, they could actually take the lead back. Boomer from in front, getting a boom onto Zoe, 1 survivor. However, might not be going in with it. They might be waiting for the survivors to be in a more ideal position. No, actually, no, the Charger's going to be moving in, but by himself. Smoker from behind and will be shut down before any damage can happen. Nicely shut down by the survivors there. They still have that medkit in the hands of Lewis, who is on temporary HP on 10. Has also been in-capped 1 time already, and the second in-cap will mean that Lewis will be black and white. But I do actually respect them for being valiant here and actually keeping a hold of the medkit. They are hoping for pain pills, but they might not really be in luck there. Hunter, Charger, and a Jockey, they have their tri-cap and they have the spitter. Jockey from in front gets the in-cap, that's black and white. Charger gets a separation, nicely shut down mid-path though. Hunter lands onto Zoe, who's already in-cap, so that won't matter. Nicely shut down on the Charger, that saved them a lot of hassle. That's going to be spawns down for at least 8 seconds. The first spawn will be up in 6 seconds, and the final spawn will be up in, well, 11 seconds now. So that's 2 in-caps on Zoe. Not Zoe, Lewis. He is going to be healing, which I do agree with, because, you know, valiant efforts can only get you so far. They are just outside the safe room. However, if he dies, then that's going to put them a little bit further behind here. Boomer, Jockey, Smoker, and a Charger will be probably the final attack unless it's devastating. Boomer's from behind there, nicely shut down through the little gap, actually. Jockey, Smoker, and a Charger will be the final spawns. Trying to bait here. They get a smoke onto Bill, but he's not able to get separated. Jockey took a lot of damage there, and the Charger is waiting on top. They're actually doing a good job here, trying to chip the spawn. Jockey moves in, Charger moves in, both shut down before they can land, and the survivors should really be able to make it in. There's 1 spawn up, which is a spitter. Spitter may be able to get some delay here. That's really the best they can do, though.
Incoming.
Does get the delay. There's a final spawn coming up, which will be a Hunter. I have to see what the Hunter can do here, because the other spawns won't be up for 7 seconds. All they have to work with is this Hunter. He's going to be moved as quick as he can, but the survivors are going to make it into the safe room before he gets shut down, actually, through the door. 175 bonus points, so unfortunately, as he did not have the pain pills, they are going to get slightly less, and
Again, 10 points.
exactly 10 points again separating them, so now there's a total of 20 points separating the survivors. So, I mean, this is a deja vu match. I mean, this is so similar in terms of everything that's happening. It's such a close scoreline.
Well, this is what everyone loves to see. I think this kind of close game can. There is no way of knowing who will win at this point.
I can't get over how weird this is, how similar all these performances are, how there's just 10 points separating the teams both rounds. This just doesn't happen. This is just so strange, and I'm loving it. It's just so weird. So here we have, point is going to be a very, this first choke point is kind of a very corridor-esque attack, and I don't know if they have a spitter or not, actually, because I don't have the spec card at the moment. It doesn't. Yeah, they do actually have a spitter. They have a spitter and a Charger. That could be devastating. Could, you know, have to see how they work with it. Gonna see Baguettes and Wine on Infected first. As we saw from last time, they have a very good Infected side. So
yes, and there is an early tank at 17%, so probably the survivors are taking it in the safe room.
Absolutely, and another reason they probably will take it in the safe room is because just outside there is a log which is hittable. And that is very dangerous to be dealing with. And that log, it can be brought as far as the doorway, the narrow doorway, actually. So they pretty much have no choice but to take it outside the corridor there, or outside the safe room. Which I cannot stress enough. If there is a Charger in an alleyway or in a corridor, you have to be very careful of that, because those stumbles make your life absolute hell. We're Infected do, whether they save these spawns, whether they get an attack in, from where they're positioned is inconclusive, really. But it looks like they're probably going to be going for an attack here. Tank, wait, it's already spawned up. Very, very early tank. There's a jockey moving. He's going to be getting a stumble and a pounce. There is actually a nice smoke round the corner there. Nicely done there. That's going to be some damage. Very nicely done. I love seeing smokers when they actually are in the face of a survivor and connect the smoke. I love that. We do have 3 shotguns and 1 Uzi again, so it's going to be a similar fashion. Tosh with the Uzi, everybody else with the shotgun. Thug Life, Muda, and Freight. We are going to see the survivors take it in the safe room. Completely agree with this, because if you're in a corridor with a charger, as I said, it's not a good thing to be dealing with. So they are going to be taking it here. In Left 4 Dead 1, it's slightly less risky to be taking it in the corridors. Tank's going to be moving in. He's happy with the setup. They do actually stumble the tank a little bit. He's going to be connecting 1 punch, missing another punch. He connects a double punch. Nicely done. Charger moves in, only gets a stumble though. Some nice punches by the Charger. A smoker's landed as well. Damage is being spread out across the board. Good punches going on here, but it may not be a wipe. He's going to be going down after... Oh my goodness, a nice... Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow. That jockey just scratching and bothering the survivors, blocking them from moving properly.
Look at that, guys. 11 punches landed. Very nicely done there by Jaze's tank. 11 punches. So many double and triple punches in the safe room. That's what you want to be doing as a tank. No wipe secured. Nonetheless, look at the shape of the survivors. They're not in a good position here, so they're going to be using 2 medkits, 3 medkits. They have only 1 medkit remaining, and that's on a survivor who's nearly slow as well. Jockey, Boomer, and a Spitter. There's going to be the Boomer moving in already, getting a Boomer to 1 survivor. Only a Jockey and a Spitter though, really, so they're not going to be sending that in. Survivors have to be very careful here. They only have 1 medkit. They're going to hope for some pain pills. They will be finding some pain pills in the future. Jockey and a Spitter with a Hunter. Final spawn coming up in 3 seconds, which is going to be a Charger. They have a Tri-Cup without the Smoker. We do have the Witch spawned up. They might be looking to go with the Witch, actually, from where they're positioned. It's looking like that's what they want to do. So the Witch is just literally just behind the doorway there. Like, literally just behind the door. Hunter's going to be pouncing in here, inside. Not able to connect yet. Will be dead stopped and eventually shut down. There is a Charger and a Jockey. Everybody moving in here. Tried to get some stumbles in the Spit. They do actually get Zoe in the Spit temporarily, but no damage happening. This is going to give them a window, actually, to deal with the Witch. She's just behind the door. Couldn't find the Witch, but ends up finding. Will be shut down. And a nice crown there by Muda, and will secure them 25 bonus points.
The tracks. Take this.
Spawns will be coming up now. So far, there's a Boomer. They have found a set of pain pills, which will be in the hands of Francis. Spitter, Hunter, Smoker, and a Boomer. Hunter is just behind the train there. Will be wall kicking away from danger because it's not with his spawns there. Smoker's going to be spawning up here, getting some separation onto Lewis. Nobody's going to move in with him though. Boomer is shut down as well. Hunter gets dead stops and killed, and the Spitters are going to spit into the middle of them. No damage happening from the Spitter, so they will shut that attack down with 0 damage happening to them.
Reloading.
They do have the Crescendo to deal with so far. However, the Crescendo is a little bit just before the safe room, so you know, we're gonna have to see how they play it.
Well, you can do some really deadly attacks here once the survivors go up.
Absolutely, and you know, what's worth talking about really is the Charger, because the Charger can get some very nice damage on this bridge, and with only 1 medkit remaining, they have 2 sets of pain pills, but only 1 medkit, so already their bonus points are slightly. Smoker, Spitter, Jockey, and a Charger. Speaking of Chargers, they do have a Charger, and they also have the Jockey and Smoker for setting up for the Charger. They are going to choose to attack on the bridge here. The survivors are taking their time. Nobody on the survivor side are actually on temporary HP, so they don't have to be in a rush here. They can take it slow. They do have 2 sets of pain pills to use if they do get slow as well. Main difference maker here is going to be the Charger. They do have a lot of separation potential. Nobody is going to go from behind what it looks like though. Most spawns are going to be in front, if not all of them. We are seeing, is that 2 or 3 shotguns. I think that's actually 2 Uzis. Ah, so they've switched up a little bit. 2 Uzis and 2 shotguns now in the hands of 911. Going to be making their way up the broken bridge here. Infected are just being very patient though. They're going to be attacking slightly later than the bridge because they can still charge somebody off the ledge there. Need to be careful of the guys in the back here. The infected are repositioned. Nobody's going in yet at the end, and the survivors are gradually blocking the spawns. Jockeys from behind are going to be looking to distract the survivors. Making some noise here. There's a smoker in the back going to be trying to set up for the charger, but the charger is unable to get a spawn. Jockey's pouncing in and can't get a spawn. Unfortunately for them, it wasn't the best attack in the world. And only a charger remaining. He's going to try and go in. He can't even get a spawn now. The survivors will be making it into the safe room with 135 bonus points.
Yeah, very nicely played from them in this last section of the map.
Indeed, and we're seeing a slight difference. We have Thug Life on MVP on everything other than the friendly fire. Frank has overtaken him. So his MVP status on friendly fire has been overtaken. Same as last time, we are going to be seeing an indoor tank. The tank will be spawning before even the first attack, really. They do actually have the opportunity to sack spawns and get rid of them, because when the survivors are in the safe room, the tank does not lose frustration. So
I think he does on this config.
Unless
I think
does
it's
he?
Changed. Well, at least the other team's tank was losing frustration.
Oh, very nice. Okay, well, ignore me then. I have no idea what I'm talking about. The tank will be losing it, because that's definitely not in standard Left 4 Dead 2 and other configs. I know that's the case, but that's actually a really nice change. I like that. Spitter, jockey, charger, and a smoker, same as last time. Tank will be spawning up here. There's a jockey moving in with the spitter. Charger moves in, but we'll be getting some scratches onto Zoe here. Actually, all the damage is piling in onto Zoe. Deja vu again, because last map, Toff, aka Zoe, was taking a lot of damage again. They do punch the bot spitter there, and kill the spitter off. Spawns are going to be up in, well, 4 seconds for one spawn. The other spawns will be up in 7 seconds. It's going to be a Muda tank here. So far into 33% of his tank gameplay here. Smoker's going to be getting... I do agree with that, actually. The Smoker isn't really the best spawn here for the tank fight, especially considering how close quarters it is. They do have a Boomer. Yeah, Boomer's going to be very deadly in this choke point. There's a jockey and a Boomer so far. If the jockey can distract well enough for the Boomer, that's going to be very, very devastating. Boomer, Hunter, and a jockey, a pretty good setup actually. Not the worst setup in the world. Trying to get a curve rock there onto an unsuspecting Zoe. They have used a medkit already, Baguettes and Wine. Tank's going to be moving in here. Takes 400 damage before he gets into the safe room. Misses the first punch, and they're surrounding him with melee weapons. Already half HP and go. Spawns are moving in. Boomer lands onto 4 survivors. Nice proxy there. Tank's going to be trying to punch as many survivors as he can. Hunter lands there and is still going. However, Tank is dead, and they actually do better than their predecessors.
Oh no!
But the Hunter is still going, and I say better, but that's not the case actually, because there is a Hunter landed. There's a jockey outside. Nope.
No, that's over. Oh no! It was looking so good.
It was looking very good, but unfortunately this... Oh no, the spawns sealed the deal. The jockey got the guy out the doorway there. We are going to see the point margin be increased so devastatingly there. Oh, it's not over for them. You know, that this is only chapter 2. This, you know... I'm lying. It's, you know, it's chapter 4 now. However... It's not over, but it's a little bit more difficult for them now. Very unfortunate, because this was a very deja vu-esque kind of map, or kind of match here. Very unfortunate for them. Nonetheless, we're going to have to see what they can do here. They still have opportunities. Just disappointing, really. They're going to be very disappointed in themselves there, because they dealt with the tank incredibly well. They shut down the tank quicker, and actually they were in better shape until the infected spawn sealed the deal there. Witch is at 56%, Tank is at 66%. So They were probably hoping for an earlier tank here. An earlier tank, when you have this much of a point margin to cover, you're really going to be hoping for an early tank, because tanks are really oftentimes the difference makers in Left 4 Dead 2. Going to be seeing 2 Uzis and 2 shotguns in the hands of 911. Bill's moving out first, shuts down the boomer before the boomer can connect, so Hunter's going to be moving in with the jockey, gets a pounce, and the Spitter's going to try and capitalize on it, however is not able to do so, is a little bit too far away. Some damage, but nothing to rave about, and that will conclude the attack.
Reloading.
So far we're going to be seeing just under 1,000 points separating these teams. Spawns will be coming up in 7 seconds in total. So far there's a charger. The rest of the spawns will be up in 3 seconds now. 25% of the way has been traversed so far. Charger, jockey, hunter, and a boomer will be the spawns. There's a boomer waiting inside here. They're going to be sending the boomer in first. However, he shows himself and will be shut down before any connection. Hunter gets shut down there. Nice double charge. However, no Spitter obviously to capitalize on it. Jockey lands onto Bill for a little bit there. Some damage again, but like I said before, nothing to rave about. They are in good shape. They're 40% of the way through the map so far. There is the Witch, who is now spawned. They have an alarm car to be careful of as well. The Witch is just below the house, which is on the stilts there. Spitter and the Boomer so far. There'll be a third spawn coming up now, which is a Hunter. Hunter, Boomer, and a Spitter. They already have a 2-2. I have to see what accompanies the Hunter, which will be a charge. Not the worst setup, really, for a Witch. Let's see what they can make happen here, especially with the Charger. The Charger can make stuff happen.
Flashlights off.
They're looking to try and deal with the Witch, however, they weren't taking the opportunity. There's a Hunter pouncing around. Hunter is actually going to be moving in with the... there is a tank up, so they're not going to be dealing with the Witch. Charger moves in as well, will be shut down. No connection is made. They have 4 medkits and 2 sets of pain pills. Tank will be in the hands of Nico here. Same as before, most of the games I've actually commentated with Baguettes and Wine, Nico is the last person to play tank.
All the pressure on him every time.
Absolutely, yeah. I was going to say that is a lot of pressure really to be dealing with. 30% of pass number 1. He is a good tank though. He played a very good tank in a Dark Carnival game that I commentated, which I will not spoil because that was a very good game. He does have a hittable forklift here to work. Isn't able to make the connection onto bit. However, he does punch him into the forklift. This could be a death here actually if he punches it enough times. 3,000 HP, and he gets another in-cap. It's a wipe! It's a wipe, ladies and gentlemen. As we were talking about Nico, he manages to get the wipe. I cannot say enough nice things about Nico here. What a tank, what a forklift, what a wipe. Oh, the excitement is real. Very, very nice tank by Nico there. Absolutely phenomenal.
That was amazing. Just exactly what the team...
The best tanks I have seen in the tournament so far.
Yeah, indeed.
Absolutely.
And a bit surprising too.
Really what made that happen is the fact that he was able to punch Lewis there. Because he punched Lewis and then was able to make the connection. What they needed to surround... They had no choice to do what they did there, by the way, guys. They actually had no choice but to surround the tank because they needed to stop their friend from dying. However, that forklift was just punched in just the right way. He in-capped everybody with that forklift. That was just ruthless. Very well played. However, they have the Survivor round to get through. They can mathematically still win, but they need to play very well because this is a big point margin to cover here. Boomer is spawned up onto the left of the safe room. Will be shut down before a connection is made. With Hunter on the mountain here. Spitter will be shut down. Gets a spit. There's going to be a Hunter looking for a damage pounce to the left of the survivors. Is pouncing 25 damage pounce from Frey onto Francis there, which is Toph again. Toph taking all the damage this game. Nicely done there on the 25 damage pounce by Frey. Charger up so far. Another spawn accompanying him in 2 seconds. That will be Boom. So they have a Charger Boomer so far for this ledge attack if they choose to go here. There is going to be a Spitter and a Hunter. They have a 2-2 with a Charger and a Hunter. We have the Boomer from in front. In front, behind. Doesn't know where he wants to go. Hunter from below is going to be pouncing up here, gets dead stops and shut down. Charger from behind gets the connection onto the only guy who's still up there. Boomer from below onto 3 survivors. Nice Boomer there. Lewis is able to regroup with his survivors. No medkits used so far, but some damage on the board. They have 2 pain pills though, so we'll have to see how they play this. They have a tank and a witch to deal with, so be traversing here. All the pressure is on the survivors here. We do have Francis moving forward to try and trigger the tank. Wasn't actually able to do it though, and it was actually slightly risky as well because he did run into the witch. Hunter is just in the house. They're going to be waiting at the witch. They're going to try and trigger this tank without dealing with the witch, because if the witch incaps somebody, that's going to be all she wrote. Hunter, Jockey, Boomer, and a Spitter. They don't have a charger. However, they do have a tri-cap nonetheless. The survivors are going to try their best to trigger this tank. They do not want to deal with that witch. We do see 1 shotgun and 3 Uzis. Hunter's pouncing around. Hunter takes a lot of damage there. Hunter is now on 98. Going to be getting rid of his spawn. That's not enough HP to work with, so that's only a Jockey, Boomer, and a Smoker so far. Jockey is behind, going to try and make them shoot the alarm card there. That again is a very dangerous thing. Trying to trigger this tank. They haven't managed to do so far. Jockey moves in the back there onto Bill. Will be dead stopped off and eventually killed. Just eventually. They are going to deal with the witch. They're going to secure themselves 25 bonus points, and the tank is spawned as well. So they have actually secured themselves bonus points their previous team did not get.
I am so excited for this tank play.
Absolutely, it is a Frape tank, and Frape is by no means a bad tank. There's a Boomer from behind there. It is Tosh's Boomer, will be shut down. Boomer was looking for something slightly better than that, so they do not have a Boomer to work with so far. They have that forklift to be so careful of. They need to make sure they do not get caught out by this forklift. I would say actually I prefer forklifts over cars ever so slightly. They have that gas canister there. However, when you shoot gas canister, that green one, it takes a little while to build up before it blows up. So it might not be able to stumble the tank, but they are obviously going to be... He's going to be moving the forklift in. It's in a decent position. He's not going to use it, though. He's going to go straight for the survivors. Going to look for a pin here. He can't find anybody yet. Half HP. He's struggling to find somebody. Can't land a punch as well. Spawns are moving in. There's a charger landing. There's a hunter getting shut down. Everybody shut down other than the charger. 2 pummels by the charger. Melee weapons on the tank there. They're going to be slicing the hell out of him, and he's going to die here. So the survivors actually managed to kill the tank. They're going to be moving forward here, and it's looking good for them so far. They just need to keep this up. 2 sets of pain pills, which they are able to use. They're very fortunate in terms of the maths there. 2 pain pills and 2 people needed them. They still have 4 meds here. They're going to be moving their way forward. They already have killed the witch as well, obviously, so they didn't have to worry about that. They have 1 more area to get through, which is kind of the house here, followed by this very long bridge. Spitter, Charger, Smoker, and a Boomer, so they have a good setup for inside. The survivors need to be very careful of this setup. This could be a lot of damage they're looking at. Francis will be the first person to enter the room here. They do have 2 shotguns and 2 Uzis again. So yeah, like I say, Spitter, Charger, Smoker, and a Boomer. Good setup for indoors, especially with the staircases. They're going to be looking for the second staircase attack rather than the first one. Smoker is already spawned up, given away the position, however. Like, as there's not really many places to spawn here anyway, so it doesn't matter so much.
Up here, guys. Let's
Gonna
go.
be slowly but surely making their way through the staircase. They find the Smoker, actually, and get him down to very low HP, so the Smoker's not as much of a threat anymore. It's kind of falling apart here a little bit for Team 911. The Smoker is so low, 43 HP. Charger's moving in here onto Francis. Doesn't get a connection. Spitter's moving in. Boomer's moving in. Nice quad boom. However, since there's nobody to capitalize on it, it's a very, very nice quad boom, but nothing can really happen from it other than really delay. But most of the common infected are actually moving behind. They are slowly coming from in front now. And Tosh thought it was a Spitter there. That's quite funny. So survivors are going to be making their way forward. Most of the common infected are behind them, which means that there's limited common infected going to be spawning in front of them. 1 more attack. It's going to be a rushed one as well. Survivors are going to be making it into the safe room slowly here. There's a Hunter Walker.
Insta-kill possibility here too.
Absolutely. However, they're making it in slowly but surely.
Wow.
There's a Charger moving in. They make it in, and
I can't do this math.
oh no. We're going to have to wait here, actually. However,
They win.
they've won. I
Oh my
can't
God.
believe it. I cannot believe it, guys. These guys are the comeback kings.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Baguettes and Wine are your victors, ladies and gentlemen. What a phenomenal, phenomenal game. I cannot use any word other than phenomenal. Absolutely amazing. Baguettes and Wine showing themselves to be the comeback kings of this tournament. I am so hyped. I am so excited for them. Very well played. Very unlucky, actually. For you can't discredit Team 911. Really, they played very, very well. They had the lead.
Played, yes.
Both teams played so well, but you have to give credit where credit is due. So well played by Baguettes and Wine, the comeback kings. Oh, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. We're very happy to bring you a match of that caliber. We will be seeing you fairly shortly. Guys, for tuning in. That's it from us. Good night.